good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Where's that from?
Good
That's
evening, good morning,
yeah,
good
good morning,
evening,
good
good
evening, good
night.
night. Is that the
Was
Truman
this?
Show? The Truman Show?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, yeah.
I think it's
Jim
the Truman
Carrey.
Show. Morning, good night. Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
Oh, that reminds me, I got the right quote because I did a Jim Carrey quote yesterday that I butchered, and he's gonna want to be my friend one day, so I need to get the quote right. He
Cool.
says, "I wish I just in my mind, he would be the celebrity I'd want to meet. I wish everyone could get rich and famous and everything they ever dreamed of, so they can see that's not the answer." So I thought
Mm,
that was interesting because people who do seemingly have it all,
yeah.
you
I
think
mean,
that
it's
they
the
have the answers, and it's not necessarily then what? Then what?
exactly.
Then they still have to face the void or go into the valley of sorrow or whatever.
Well,
Everyone
that's
does.
an age-old conundrum of sorts, right? The grass is always greener,
Yeah.
on an at-home minuscule basis. I'm thinking women with pin straight hair always want curly hair, and
Mhm.
women with the crazy curly hair, like, oh, I could give anything for straight hair.
Yeah.
It's our journey to just accept and love what we have
Yeah.
and where we are,
It's so
right?
true, right? Like, and yeah, money doesn't bring everything. I mean, even someone like Jim Carrey and even someone like whoever, that has all the accomplishments, there's still that shadow side and all that self stuff that you have to deal with. Um,
Yes.
so talking about that, I wanted to know, I don't really know a lot about your history. I knew you were a real estate agent. But then I've only known you in the last few years and you have been writing a book and doing that, but not doing real estate. So can you just tell me a little bit of your history so I can judge you just a little bit more when we're not talking? I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I say I'm kidding, but I'm not.
I
You know
know.
I'm gonna think
Oh
about
no.
it.
Well, you're human. Are you
Yeah,
human? Oh my
I am
gosh.
human.
Really? Yeah. Yeah, sure. I started my career was with a business that was my fiance's family business at the time. And it was in the industry of oil recycling, cutting edge technology developed by my father-in-law. And my
Oh,
husband and I went down to the States. So I lived in Ohio for 10 years, and we
wow.
started up operations in the US and Mexico down there. My role was admin support and all the accounting. And then we moved back to Canada.
Did you have
My
kids
job,
at that point or no?
I did. The boys were little. When we moved back to Canada, I think they were 4 and 6.
Okay.
So I
And
did.
so
And I
you
was able to
were,
work from home. I was able to work from home
oh,
back in that day. And I was always on. We were entrepreneurs. We worked essentially for ourselves. And so I worked when they napped and they were in preschool. And I worked in the evening when they slept, and that juggling, balancing thing. And my husband traveled 3 weeks out of 4. He was
oh,
home maybe 5, 6 days a month. So that was
oh,
a busy lifestyle.
that's
That's a whole
hard.
nother thing. But
Yeah, can
we're
you see my
career,
brain going like, oh
career,
my God, we got
right?
like yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So career. And then when we moved back up to Canada, my job went from about 35 hours a week out of the house to about 50 hours a week at an office. And that transition was really hard for me. Didn't align with what I wanted to be for my children at that time. So I hired my replacement, and then I was home for a couple of years until I got divorced. And then I had to go back to work, needed an income. And I took a job in an accounting capacity for a Japanese owned company, a
Oh,
manufacturer of drills, tool, and die company.
I
The
work for a
whole,
Japanese company too, Kubota. Do you know Kubota?
that,
They make farm
yes,
machinery and stuff. Yeah.
yes, I
It's a
do.
wonderful, like Japanese people are so wonderful to work for. Polite, sweet, kind, mad,
Yes,
sad, everything. This is the face. You don't ever have to worry about any emotional up and downs. And that's a
absolutely.
gross generalization. I hope
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
offend
yeah. No,
anybody, but I'm
and
just saying
and
I had a good experience working for a
yeah, and
Japanese
I
company.
did too. To add to your gross generalization, I would say that they are extremely generous to their employees in some aspects, and in others, extremely demanding. So they had a great profit share plan and benefit plan, which was lovely. They also demanded extreme loyalty and um and dedication. So they penalized, they would not stand for sick days. They would penalize sick days. If I actually took a sick day, it cost me 2.5 days pay. It cost me the day's pay, it cost me off my bonus. So it was very interesting.
Wow.
So I did that for 3 years, and then that there's a big long story around how it occurred. I left that to get my real estate license and get into that business. And I did that for almost 15 years. And it was a really good run. I met the most amazing people, the clients. I loved all of my clients. And it was rewarding financially, and it was interesting and challenging from a learning standpoint. There was always something new and interesting. In the end, what beat me up was the always being on, the lifestyle of that career, combined with the fact that, and I'm just going to say it, in my opinion, 80% of realtors are assholes.
I was going to ask you about that. I'm like, are they two-faced? Because it's like, is there like a mask that they wear? Because it does feel like, yeah, a little cutthroat. But I don't really know the industry. The real estate agents I know are very lovely and really striving towards waking up and all of that stuff. So I that's my real estate friends. But I do also have this little vision of what it could be like.
Yeah, the reputation is there, and there's a lot of foundation for it. They're making the barriers to entry a little stricter, the education and whatnot, but it's not hard to get your real estate license, and it attracts people who think that it's really easy and it's really great money, and a lot of them are in it for themselves and put their own best interests ahead of the clients, and it was really hard for me to see that happening. And I got to choose my clients. And there was, on a rare occasion, clients that I just didn't feel connected with. I wasn't going to be able to do what they wanted for what they wanted. And I just, I'm not your girl. I'll refer you to somebody else. I had control over my clients. But in residential real estate, you have to work with another realtor, and not so much their client, but you can't not work with the other realtor to put a deal together, and you don't get to choose that other realtor. And when 80% of them are unethical or uneducated or just not whatever, it was really hard. That was really hard. And so I decided I needed out. My mental health also played a role. At the end of my real estate career, I was not mentally healthy, and I decided I was going to get out. And I had a team of agents at the time. And one of my young
that
agents,
worked for you. So you were the top dog, and they were. Look at that! Wow. So you were successful. Did I miss how successful you were? Like, did you say I was a successful real estate agent? Like, that's pretty impressive to me.
Yes, I would say that I was. And actually, I left after my best year, which was shocking for people in my local industry. They couldn't believe that I would walk away from a career that was that lucrative. So I had 4 full-time agents and a full-time admin person, and I wasn't happy. I was not happy. So one of my young agents took over the business, and I started another company around real estate education, which is really kind of funny. So I created a designation for, and get this, talk about fucking oxymoron. I created a designation for realtors to become ethics certified.
Oh. And then did it take off?
So I spent a lot of money and a lot of time creating this, and I was on the cusp of launching it in the US. Mostly I was going to join the trade show circuit for real estate conventions. I was going to do public speaking and whatnot when COVID hit.
Oh, I was gonna say, I thought if 80% are assholes, then they wouldn't even want to join the thing because
Right?
like
I
they
know.
like who are you gonna sell it to? The
I
assholes?
know.
No, you're
I
gonna sell
know.
it to the 20% who are already ethically okay. So
I know. Not
like
the best idea
COVID's like,
in
Liz,
hindsight, right?
this is not your thing.
Right. And I didn't like real estate agents, generally speaking. Now, some of my dearest friends are realtors, and
Mhm.
and there are some very good ones out there. The majority of them, though, in my opinion, are not. So why would I want them to be my clients, my customers? I
Yeah,
know.
you're gonna. That's so
I was
funny.
not thinking. So thank you, universe, for not for
Yeah.
COVID, but for completely halting that altogether. It drained some significant resources. Haven't figured out the meaning of that yet, but it's all good. So then COVID hit, and
And so
then
how long before COVID had you, I think you said you sold off the business. So how long before COVID did that happen?
couple years before.
And
I'd
then
have
so
to
you
go
were sort of like transitioning. What were you
like
doing?
2018. I stopped really doing real estate in 2017 or 18. I have to,
Okay.
I'm not great with years. Um, yeah, I still maintained my license
Mhm.
as a backup plan B. In hindsight, I could have, should have let it go at that point, but I didn't. And then when COVID hit, I mean everything for
Shit hit
shut
the
down.
fan, and then the
Yes,
shit hit the fan. So
yes.
what did you do between like 18 and 20 other than building the business? Were you busy or were you just mental healthing like, oh my God, how am I gonna do this? Life. Shit.
Yeah, I was doing a little bit of mental health thing, and but I was full in to building this business and writing an online workshop. So it was a lot of work, a lot of time. So that it took me a couple of years of
Wow.
pretty much full time working
See,
on that.
see, it's interesting to get this history because now the fact that you're an entrepreneur, that you're doing this, that you've moved across country, it makes a little bit more sense to me because you've always been a woman who kind of like just grabbed the bull by the horns and just done the next thing, done the next thing. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
yeah, it makes
that's
sense
the
now.
that's the resilience from my childhood. That's the belief to not depend or rely on anybody for anything.
Mm. Has
I've
that one changed or
not a lot,
not a lot?
a little
In some
bit,
areas. I
a little
mean,
bit.
like even the fact
Yeah.
that you hired a soul coach indicates to me that you knew you needed somebody.
Yes.
I remember my coach once said, I mean, he's always encouraged and said that we are our own guides, but he did say, like, kind of at my worst, sometimes you just need to let go and trust somebody. And I
Absolutely.
am the cleaner, and you need to trust the cleaner, and we're going to clean this shit up, kind of thing, right? So,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I definitely can lean into that way far more than I ever could. So
Wow. And then I noticed today you've got all this art behind your wall, but today there's like all these little placards up, which is indicating to me that something more is happening, and maybe I don't understand what you do for your art. So can you explain what's going on? And like, are you an artist? Or like what, like I know you're an artist, but can you explain it a little bit more?
well, I think we're all artists to some degree, I
Hmm.
mean, in
Hmm.
the loose definition of that word, but creating pieces of art, as you see in the background, is pretty new to me. After I finished writing my book, I was visiting, actually my friend that's here visiting me now. I was at her place in Mexico, and we took an art lesson in Bucerias, and I fell in love. It was like I was meant to do this. I was in a zone, and I was so happy, and it just felt really right and really fun. And so I came back from Mexico, and I turned my garage over the next couple months into a studio. I printed the Wikipedia instructions on how to build an easel, and I handed it to my dad and said, "Hey, Dad, here's a project for you." And he went and bought the wood, and he built me 5 easels, and
Wow.
I just didn't look back. So this is my first exhibition, if you will, It's called the Sunshine Coast Art Crawl, and it's been happening here for a lot of years. I'm not sure, but I think
Oh,
around
so
20 years.
a list of homes is given to people and they drive around to different homes?
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
nice.
There's
And then you get to
almost,
see people's homes, which is the best thing ever.
some of them are in homes, some of them are in separate
Okay.
studios or whatever, but
Okay.
there's over
Okay.
200 venues, and they have
Wow.
literally thousands of people come from Vancouver to participate in this art crawl. I'm expecting about 500 people to come over the weekend. So Friday night I'm
Wow.
open, and I have artwork for sale. I have some limited prints, and I'm also going to be selling my book and talking about that. And my
Nice.
dad has made these driftwood mobiles, and he's also going to be here talking to people for the weekend. So,
Is he a chatter? Does he love chatting with
oh
people?
my gosh,
So
yes,
he's just
yes,
like gonna be
yes.
in
And he's
his
got some really
glory.
great stories, and people love to hear them. And, you know, I've heard them. I've heard them 20
How
times.
many times? Yeah.
20, 30 times.
Yes,
And I'm
yes.
happy to listen again if there's somebody new that's enjoying his tales.
Yeah.
And he will have the time of his life this weekend.
Oh my God. And it's Saturday and Sunday, both days?
Saturday and Sunday from 10 till 5. Yep.
Did you buy extra toilet paper? Because people are going to need to use your washroom.
Yeah, I know. I
That's
know.
like
Yes,
I'm a
I'm
washroom girl.
well.
I go wash them
Oh,
everywhere.
so do I. Oh my gosh. I never pass up a washroom ever, anywhere. Right? At 61, couple of kids, like,
Yeah.
hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yes, I'm all set. All set. And we're going to bake cookies, and we're going to serve tea. And I'm really looking forward. I'm offering free hugs because that's kind of my
Who
thing.
doesn't love hugs? Is Debbie going to
Right?
be there? Your friend's visiting right
Yeah.
now. She's going to be, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's
So
amazing.
it's really fitting that my love for art came because of my visit with her to her lovely home in Mexico, and that she's also here for this debut. So
Wow. And so if someone buys a piece, say the big yellow piece with the head with stuff coming out of it behind you,
yeah,
do they just take it right then and there and then there's a space on your wall? Like what happens?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty much everything I have is up on the walls. I do have some things. So there's 2 bedrooms here as well that are also full of art, and
Wow.
also the kitchen. So I may move some things around. And yeah, so I'm calling it the Freedomville Foundation after Freedomville of my book. And
Cool.
right now
I'm gonna go to
I don't,
Shitstorms.
yes.
Sorry.
I'm in the process. So 100% of the profits will be donated to mental health. And right now, though, I can't issue tax receipts. So I have to start a whole new corporation as a registered charity status in order to provide those receipts. So
Okay.
with the first amount of art that I sell, that's going to be number 1 on my priority, is to get incorporation in that status so that I can offer those receipts to people.
Wow. That's impressive. So just to clarify, when you say Freedomville art, do you have 2 different forms of art you're doing, or are you just naming it Freedomville art after the metaphor that you use in your book?
Yes, the latter. I'm
The
just
latter.
naming it
Yeah.
Freedomville Art after my book. So
Oh, it's so nice. So nice. You know, I forgot to see what time we started at, but we're probably near 20 minutes. I
yeah.
was thinking maybe I can ask you well, I'm calling them rapid fire questions, but they're getting more and more detailed. So I'm not really sure they're rapid fire, but I still want to ask you a couple of questions. So we'll see how long it takes you to answer these questions, and then we'll
All
wrap it
right.
up and go from there. Okay. What one word do you want people to associate you with?
Love.
That's good. What trait do you value most in relationships?
I think I would say integrity, because it encompasses multiple things that are
Wait,
important to me.
such as? I have to go deeper with this one.
All right. Honesty, kindness, although it may not be. To me, integrity is also kindness. So honesty, kindness, and love.
Mm, yeah, I love that. I would say my husband's like that.
Nice.
Yeah, like, yeah, because integrity really is a there's a lot of things that could kind of fall in that category, don't you think?
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Right?
And I would also add to that that it also takes courage to act with integrity, to be integrous.
Hmm.
There's an element of being able to stand up and
And know who you are. Don't you think that
yes,
someone that's able
yeah,
to do that knows who they are, right? Like
yes,
they know
yes,
who they
that
are, they accept it, and then they can extend that grace and love to other people. That's
yeah, well said.
I like that. What is your hidden talent? Hidden talent.
My hidden talent. Gosh, well, isn't it if it's hidden, I don't know about it yet. It's still hidden. It's hiding.
It's hidden. We don't know. Well, the art would have been something because
That
you
would have
just
been a
recently
hidden
discovered
talent.
that, right? Yeah.
Writing
Yeah.
honestly was a hidden talent too. I'd never written much in the past. It's not anything I aspired to, and I was quite surprised by how much I enjoyed the process of writing. You know,
Hmm.
writers often talk about writer's block or the frustration and the grind of it all. And honestly, that was not my
It
experience.
just came right from you, like you were just in the flow.
Yeah,
Of
and
ecstasy.
I love writing. I love writing now. I love writing marketing pieces. I love writing, little shorts. Yeah, for other people, for myself, about almost any topic. I enjoy
Wow.
writing and editing, and that was something that uh was hidden for sure.
Yeah, I love that. Okay, and the last question, this one I'm dying to know. Who is your celebrity crush?
Oh my gosh. Probably Kevin Costner.
Oh, so funny. I'm sadly watching Big Brother, and one of the guys on Big Brother loves Kevin Costner and keeps talking about him. And then
Yeah.
the other character guy is like, Kevin Costner's not watching Big Brother, so you're never gonna meet him, but he will. Kevin
Yeah,
Costner.
there's something about him. It's just the right combination of softness and manliness. And he's about my
Mhm.
age-ish as well. Um, yeah, Kevin
Yeah.
Costner.
Did you watch or have you watched Yellowstone?
Oh my gosh, loved it. I
So
watched
good.
it twice.
Don't you
Yes.
fucking love Beth? She's such a badass. I just want to
Oh
be
my
like
God.
just
Yeah.
badass and do badass shit like that. But I'm not. I'm like more like a lab
Yeah. Yeah.
with a Rottweiler exterior.
I'm not as much. I'm a little on the spectrum, closer to the badass than the lab, but not nearly Beth badass
No, no, yeah,
level. No, no.
that's
But
so
she,
funny.
yeah, yeah, she's awesome. And it's also, as her character developed, was really interesting to me to see the flashbacks and have the insights into her childhood as
Mhm.
well. And it's
Mhm.
nice to see the same concepts that I talk about in my book that are also portrayed in movies and all kinds of other ways that explain why people are the way they are,
Yeah,
and that
yeah.
we don't ever really know, right?
No, you can never know. You can
Yeah,
never know. And really,
yeah,
you just
no,
have to look. And I know may sound cliche, but there's always so much more abundance and goodness in a person than the negative. We
of
just
course.
so exemplify the negative, and even in a situation, right? Like something that's just like this, we make it like this. But there's always so much more abundance. You just have to look in nature to see all the leaves on the trees that exist just to exist that nobody's ever going to see, right? Like, and the same with the
Yeah.
goodness in a person, right? And even
Yes.
Beth in Yellowstone, there's a reason why she is doing the things that she's doing, right? So,
Yeah,
and we see
yeah, yeah.
characters evolve in TV shows, blah blah blah. So
She's awesome. And did you watch the prequels?
I haven't seen the prequels, and I haven't seen
Oh,
the latest
oh,
season, season 5, because I don't think it's come out on Prime yet. It was on like Paramount or something like that. This is Canadian TV, if anyone is American watching.
yes, yes. Well, you
Behind.
must watch the two prequels. The one that I found the most interesting, and I forget what each of them are called. They're dates. There's one is
Oh, right.
1853 or something, and the next one. But the first one is about the original, the first Dutton that made the trip out west. And it was fascinating.
I'm gonna have to watch
And
it.
there's a very strong female lead in that one as well. In fact, both of my boys, who are aged 33 and 30, almost 31 right now, said
Wow.
that female lead was the perfect woman
Oh.
for
Well,
them.
I'm gonna have
So
to watch it now and model myself after her. Well, so I can be the
That would
perfect
be
woman
tough.
for your
Well,
sons, even though I'm
right?
married.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Wow. Wow. Interesting. Well, thank you very much. It was nice chatting with you today. I hope you.
Likewise, yes. And to anybody out there who happens to be navigating shitstorms, I wish you a very good mental health day.
A very good mental health day. Pick up the book. Not at Amazon, though. We'll talk about that next
Oh,
time.
Amazon's fixed
Oh, is it
today.
fixed? Yay!
Today, Amazon.ca is fixed.
Nice.
3
So
months.
Amazon was a bit of a shit show, but you worked it out.
It was a
Amazing.
total shitstorm for 3 months. I
Did
didn't
you?
work it out. It
It just
got
worked out.
Well, no, my publisher worked it out finally.
Nice.
But as we all know, Amazon owns the world. So,
Go, Jeff.
enough said.
All right. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.